Let me ask you something. Why is it that two people can face the exact same situation, but one gives up while the other rises and wins? It's not luck, it's not talent, it's not money, it's mindset. Success is not built in your wallet, in your family name, or even in your skills. It's first built in your mind. Your mindset is like the software running your life. If it's outdated, full of viruses, and constantly freezing, no matter how powerful the hardware, you won't perform. But if your mindset is sharp, positive, and growth-driven, even with limited resources, you'll find a way to win. Now let's break it down into 7 powerful keys of mindset for success. Growth over fixed mindset. Let's play a quick game. Imagine 2 people standing in front of the same challenge. One says, "I can't do this. I'm just not good at it." The other says, "I don't know how to do this yet, but I'll figure it out." Now guess which one is already halfway to success? That's the power of mindset. A fixed mindset treats ability like it's carved in stone. I was born this way. I can't change, I can't grow. A growth mindset treats ability like a muscle. The more I use it, the stronger I get. Think back to when you were a baby. You didn't fall after your first attempt at walking and think, "Well, clearly walking isn't for me. Guess I'll crawl for life." No way. You kept trying. You stumbled, you tripped, you cried a little, maybe even bumped your head, but you got up again and again until one day, bam, you were walking like a champion. That's the natural growth mindset we're all born with. So what happens? Somewhere along the way, as adults, we stop believing in growth. We start saying things like, "I'm just bad at math," or "I'll never be confident," or "I'm not smart enough." That's the fixed mindset creeping in like a sneaky little thief, stealing your potential before you even try. Here's the fun part. Your brain is like Play-Doh. It's not fixed, it's flexible. Neuroscience proves it. Every time you practice something, your brain literally rewires itself, building stronger connections. That means you're never stuck. You're always under construction. A growth mindset is what turns problems into puzzles and puzzles into progress. It's the difference between saying, "This is too hard," and "This is training for the next level." Just like a video game, every challenge is meant to stretch you, teach you, and prepare you for what's next. Successful people don't say, "I can't." They say, "I can't yet." That little 3-letter word changes everything. Focus on possibilities, not limitations. Here's something funny. Most people are experts at finding problems, but amateurs at finding solutions. They see a wall and immediately say, "Well, that's it, game over." But successful people, they see a wall and ask, can I climb it, dig under it, walk around it, or maybe just build a door? That's the difference between limitation, focused, and possibility, focused thinking. Think about it. Every invention we use today came from someone who refused to stop at the limitation. The Wright brothers were told humans can't fly. Henry Ford was told people will never give up horses for cars. Edison failed 1,000 times before creating the light bulb. Imagine if they had all said, "You're right, it's impossible." We'd still be living in the dark, riding horses and mailing letters with pigeons. Here's a fun example. Have you ever met someone who complains about traffic every single day? Same route, same jam, same complaints. Meanwhile, another person takes that same frustration and thinks, "Wait, what if I create an app to show people the fastest route?" Boom. Uber, Waze, Google Maps. One person saw a problem, the other saw a possibility. Your brain is like a camera. If you focus only on the obstacles, that's all you'll see. But if you zoom out and shift the lens to possibilities, suddenly new paths appear. The situation doesn't change, but your perspective does. And that makes all the difference. Limitation, focused people say, "I don't have enough money to start." Possibility, focused people say, "How can I start with what I have?" Limitation, focused people say, "I don't have time." Possibility, focused people say, "How can I use my little time wisely?" See the shift. One mindset kills ideas before they're born. The other mindset births solutions that change the world. Because the truth is, your limitations are real, but your possibilities are bigger. Discipline beats motivation. Let's be honest. Motivation is like your favorite song. Sometimes it gets you hyped, sometimes you're sick of it, and sometimes it doesn't even play when you need it the most. That's the problem with motivation. It's a feeling. And feelings are like the weather, sunny one day, stormy the next. But discipline is different. Discipline is the umbrella that keeps you dry no matter what the weather looks like. Here's the truth. Successful people don't rely on motivation, they rely on discipline. Because discipline says, I don't care if I feel like it, I'll do it anyway. Think about brushing your teeth. You don't wake up every morning shouting, Wes, I can't wait to brush my teeth today. No, you just do it because you've trained yourself that it's non-negotiable. That's discipline. Now imagine if you treated your goals the same way, like brushing your teeth. No big drama, no waiting for motivation, no overthinking. Just, it's time. Let's do it. That's how you build success. Here's a fun example. Ever joined the gym in January? Everyone's motivated, new clothes, shiny sneakers, new year, new energy. But by February, guess what? Half the people are gone. Why? Because their motivation expired. But the people who stay, they're not motivated every day, they're disciplined. And that's why by December, they're transformed while the others are making excuses. Motivation is like a sugar rush. It feels good in the moment, but it crashes fast. Discipline is like a steady diet. It might not be glamorous, but it fuels you for the long run. And the best part, discipline creates freedom. People think discipline is a prison, but it's the opposite. Discipline frees you from regret, from wasted time, from constantly restarting. With discipline, you don't wait for the perfect mood. You create results regardless of mood. Because at the end of the day, motivation may get you started, but discipline is what keeps you moving when the excitement is gone. See failure as training, not trauma. Here's the thing. Most people treat failure like it's a scar that ruins them forever. But successful people treat failure like it's a gym membership. You go in, you sweat, you struggle. Sometimes it hurts, but in the end, you come out stronger. Failure isn't a stop sign, it's a speed bump. It slows you down, yes, but it doesn't end the journey. Think about video games for a second. Nobody throws the controller across the room after losing on the first try. You play again. You study the level. You notice where you slipped. And every time you fail, you're actually learning the game better. Then one day, boom, you beat the level. That's not trauma, that's training. Here's a fun example. Thomas Edison didn't say, I failed 1,000 times. He said, I found 1,000 ways that didn't work. That's a growth mindset. He didn't treat those failures as disasters. He treated them as practice sessions. And the result? Light bulbs in every home. But here's the problem with most of us. We treat failure like a permanent label. I failed once, therefore I am a failure. No, you failed at something, you're not a failure. There's a huge difference. It's like saying you tripped while walking, therefore you'll never walk again. Sounds silly, right? Yet that's how people treat their goals. Failure is the universe's way of saying, not yet, but keep going. It's feedback. It's training. It's the test that proves whether you're really serious about your dream or just flirting with it. And here's the best part. Every successful person you admire is basically just a professional failure collector. They failed more times than most people have even tried. But because they treated failure as training, each loss was just another rep at the success gym. So the next time you fail, don't cry over it like it's the end. Laugh a little, learn a lot, and say, okay, that was training. Round 2. Let's go. Protect your energy, not just your time. Everybody talks about time management. Use your 24 hours wisely. And yes, time is precious. But let me tell you something even more important. Energy management. Because here's the truth, you can have 10 free hours. But if your energy is dead, those hours are useless. Think about it. Ever had a day where you technically had time to do everything, but mentally you felt like a half-charged phone stuck at 5%? That's because your energy tank was empty. Successful people know this secret. Time matters, but energy is the fuel. Without energy, your time is wasted. Here's a fun example. Imagine you're driving a car. You've got the best car in the world, a Ferrari, but if the fuel tank is empty, guess what? You're not going anywhere. Meanwhile, someone with an old Honda but a full tank is cruising past you with the music blasting. That's what happens in life. People with average resources but high energy often outperform people with great resources but no energy. And where does your energy go? Simple. Your environment and your habits. If you're hanging around complainers, energy vampires, and people who treat life like a permanent pity party, your energy will drain faster than Wi-Fi in a storm. But if you surround yourself with people who are positive, motivated, and solution-oriented, you'll feel charged just by being in their presence. Protecting your energy also means guarding your attention. Every time you scroll endlessly on social media, compare yourself to strangers, or binge Netflix when you promised yourself just one episode, you're not just wasting time, you're leaking energy. Here's the funny part, most people guard their phones with passwords, screens, and covers, but leave their minds wide open to negativity. They'll say, "Don't touch my phone," but let anybody touch their mood, their focus, their peace of mind. Successful people do the opposite. They guard their energy like it's the most expensive phone in the world. Because once your energy is gone, everything else follows. Your discipline, your focus, your creativity. Energy is the root, and when you protect it, you protect your future. Long-term vision, short-term action. Here's a funny truth. Everyone wants success, but most people want it delivered like fast food, hot, ready, and in under 5 minutes. The problem: real success doesn't come with fries and a soda. It's slow cooked, like a grandma recipe. You need patience, consistency, and the right mindset. That's why successful people balance long-term vision with short-term action. Let's break it down. Long-term vision means you see the big picture. You know where you want to go, even if you're not there yet. It's like looking at a map. You might be standing in California, but your dream is New York. The vision reminds you, that's where I'm headed. But here's the twist. Vision without action is just daydreaming. If you keep staring at the map, you'll never move an inch. That's where short-term action comes in. You don't have to cover the whole journey in one day. You just have to take the next step. Think about building a skyscraper. Nobody drops it from the sky. They start with one brick, then another, then another. At first, it doesn't even look like a building. But with time, those small actions turn into something massive. Here's the fun example. Ever watched Netflix when it says, "Next episode starting in 302:1, and suddenly 8 hours later you finished a whole season? That's the power of small actions stacking up. If you can binge, watch a series brick by brick, you can also build your dream brick by brick. The difference is where you put your effort. The problem with most people is they either get lost in the big vision, so big it feels overwhelming, or they only live in small actions without direction, like running on a treadmill. Successful people combine both. They see the mountain peak, but focus only on the next step in front of them. Because here's the secret. When you hold the long-term vision, you don't get lost in temporary failures. And when you take short-term action, you don't get stuck just dreaming about the future. Together, vision and action make you unstoppable. Gratitude as a superpower. Here's the thing. People are always searching for some secret hack to success. What book should I read? What routine should I copy? Which millionaire's morning habits should I steal? But the truth is, one of the most powerful success tools doesn't cost a single dollar, doesn't need Wi-Fi, and you don't even have to order it on Amazon. It's called gratitude. Now, before you roll your eyes and say, yeah, be thankful, I've heard that before. Let me explain why gratitude is actually a superpower, the kind that can change your energy, your mindset, and even your results. When you wake up in the morning and start your day by focusing on what you already have instead of what you don't, your entire perspective shifts. Most people wake up and immediately start complaining about the weather, about their job, about traffic, even about the Wi-Fi being too slow. Imagine how funny that is. You're holding a magical device in your hand that can connect you to anyone in the world, and you're mad because TikTok took 3 extra seconds to load. Successful people flip this script. They practice gratitude because gratitude raises your energy and sharpens your focus. When you're grateful, you're not wasting time comparing yourself to others. You're too busy noticing what's already working for you. And here's the magic. When your mind is focused on abundance, you attract more abundance. Think about it like this. Gratitude is like Wi-Fi for opportunities. If your gratitude signal is strong, life seems to send more good things your way. But if your signal is weak, you keep buffering in negativity. Here's a fun example. Imagine you gave someone a gift, and they didn't even say thank you. Would you want to give them another? Probably not. Now imagine someone receives even the smallest gift and lights up with joy. Whoa, thank you so much. This means a lot. Instantly, you feel like giving them more. That's how life works. The more you appreciate, the more it gives you. Gratitude also makes tough times easier. Instead of drowning in what's missing, you anchor yourself in what's still standing. And that's strength. That's what keeps you moving when others give up. So while most people think gratitude is soft, I'll tell you the truth. It's hardcore. It's the armor of the successful. It keeps you grounded when things are good and keeps you hopeful when things are bad. That's why gratitude isn't just an attitude. It's a superpower. So, my friend, after walking through all these powerful keys, belief, growth, resilience, focus, protecting your energy, balancing vision with action, and of course, gratitude. You might be thinking, wow, that's a lot to remember. But here's the fun part. You don't need to apply them all perfectly in one day. Success isn't like ordering a pizza where everything comes in 30 minutes or less. It's more like going to the gym. The first day you lift weights, you don't walk out looking like The Rock. But keep showing up, keep practicing these mindsets, and one day you'll look back and say, wait a second, I became stronger without even noticing it. Think of mindset like planting seeds. You don't plant an apple tree today and demand fruit tomorrow. You water it, protect it, give it sunlight, and in time, it grows, it blossoms, it bears fruit. And the funny thing is, people will look at you years later and say, you're so lucky. But you'll smile because you'll know. It wasn't luck, it was mindset. Here's an example. You ever seen someone trying to ride a bicycle for the first time? They wobble, they fall, maybe scrape a knee. But with practice, balance becomes second nature. That's exactly how mindset works. At first, it feels awkward, maybe even frustrating. But once you train it, success becomes your balance point. You move forward naturally, without even overthinking. And here's where the fun comes in. Life will keep throwing curveballs, like traffic jams, broken coffee machines, or that one relative who always has negative things to say at family dinners. But with the right mindset, you won't just survive those moments. You'll laugh through them, learn from them, and keep moving forward. Because at the end of the day, success isn't just about what you achieve, it's about who you become in the process. And when you build the right mindset, you don't just chase success, success starts chasing you.